I'm Dr. Linz, a licensed physical therapist of over 14 years, and today I'm bringing you out to the mountain biking scene. So I'm here in beautiful Oregon. We're on the Sandy Ridge Trail, and that is somewhere between Portland and Mount Hood, and we are out here with our mountain bikes. The thing is, we want to get to stretching, because what a lot of people think is that they just are excited, they want to get out on their bikes, but a lot of us sit throughout the day, so we've got a lot of tightness in our hip flexors. So I'm going to take you through 5 different stretches that you can quickly do for about 5-10 minutes before you hop on the bikes, and that should help out your bike ride and make your back feel a lot better. Welcome to Better Mobility, Better Life, where you can learn how to break mental and physical barriers to become a better athlete, a more functional human, and how to age with grace using physical therapy techniques. All right, so for the first one, we use a lot of our quads, especially if you're using flat pedals instead of the clip-in pedals. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna grab your foot. If you need to hold on to a branch, a tree, anything you can, pull that heel back towards your bottom, and I'm gonna have you hold it there for at least 20 to 30 seconds. And then you're gonna switch sides, do the other side. So this one is a little bit longer of a hold, but that's okay. If you can do 3 of those, and then you go into the next one. The next one, what I'm gonna have you do is for the calf muscles down here, and then also for your low back. Because the bike puts you in more of a flexion position, we wanna make sure that we get plenty of extension before we get on the bikes. So what you're gonna do is you're going to get into a downward dog position, and you're gonna bring your hips up in the air, and I usually just pedal those heels back and forth on the ground. And then you're gonna come into an upward dog, bringing those hips down, chest up, looking straight up. And if you can do about 4 or 5 repetitions of this, that's a good dynamic movement to warm up those muscles, get them nice and lengthened. Come down again. And you can even shift your hips back and forth. Sometimes that gives you a little extra benefit, extra stretch in those hip flexors. And one more coming this way. Good. Okay. So then the next one I'm going to have you do for the hamstrings. We're going to be walking forward. Again, it's just a dynamic stretch. So you're going to just kick forward. Try to see if you can keep that back as flat as possible. Engage those abs. This is a nice little stretch for the hamstrings. And then on the way back, what you can do is, again, just stretching out those hip flexors in the front and getting the little hip extension. I'm gonna have you go into a lunge and then a kick back. Lunge, kick back. Lunge, kick back. So again, a couple of these, kick back, kick back. If you need a little extra for those tight psoas muscles, because you do sit at a desk all day long, you can also get into a little bit of a lunge stretch. If you have the balance, great, reach over. If you need to hold on to your car or whatever, do that, and that should feel like a nice good stretch through that side body and that hip flexor. All right, so those are 5 good exercises just to warm the body up, especially if you sit in a desk all day long. We're about to do a 45-minute climb up the hill, so we're gonna start feeling the backs if we weren't able to stretch out those hip flexors. So just really important to warm that body up before you get stagnant on that bike climb going uphill. So if you like what you've seen, hit the subscribe button and let's go check out the trails. And we just finished an awesome bike ride, 3 hours on the bike here in Portland on the Sandy Ridge trails. So now it's time to stretch out. And with the stretches before a bike ride, I'd like to see more of a dynamic type of stretch. It just helps with the muscles to activate them a little bit better. But now we're gonna do more of a static stretch. So holding longer for about 30 to 90 seconds at a time. So here are 5 different stretches that you can do after your bike ride. So the first one, you use your quads a lot, especially when going downhill. So you're gonna just stand here. If you need to hold on to something, you can. But I want you to bring that knee straight down and then bring your ankle up towards your bottom and hold it there. And then go ahead and release. If this is hard for you, you're dirty anyways, so you can actually get on the cement in the parking lot and here do the same thing coming this way. And the cement's really nice and warm, so it actually adds to the benefit of the stretch. All right, so then the next stretch that you can do is a calf stretch. So again, you could get into a downward dog and just do a stretch like this, or you can get yourself, if you have something that you can step up onto and put that foot halfway off, drop that heel, put most of your weight down through your standing leg, and you should feel the stretch in that calf muscle. So again, you're gonna hold it for 30 to 90 seconds at a time, and remember to do both sides for this. The third stretch that you can do is, because you're on the bike, you're in a flex position, getting that back to stretch out. So again, here, and then just coming into an upward dog. You can bring your toes, or you can bring your weight on your toes, and that will give you a little bit more of a stretch, and then you can kind of shift your shoulders side to side, and you should feel it differently in each hip. All right, then the next stretch is going to be for your glute medius muscle, so the sides of your hips, and there are a couple different ways you can do this. If you are lacking flexibility, hopefully you can get yourself into this position and you can just bring your opposite elbow over that knee and then do a little twist. You should feel a nice stretch right here in the side of the hip. And then if you can, come on your back, and I would put one ankle over your opposite knee. If you can, again, if you're flexible, if you can bring your thigh towards your chest, you should feel a nice, good stretch right in that hip. Maybe you feel it in the back of the thigh, but hold it here. And if this is too hard for you, just because you don't have the flexibility, you can bring that knee towards your opposite shoulder and kind of play around with where you feel that stretch. So that's a good way to stretch out your glute medius muscle, which is right here, your piriformis muscle as well. And then the last stretch is coming down, excuse me, coming down and getting your inner thighs. So you're gonna come down into a little squat, low squat, holding those hips down, try to keep that back nice and flat. And then you can also bring your knees out with your elbows. So again, each one of these you're holding for 30 to 90 seconds, and that should help make you nice and loose for the car ride home. So those are my top 5 stretches, and if you want to learn more, make sure that you click the subscribe button and you can learn more about keeping your body healthy and limber on the mountain bike. All right, until next time. All right, everybody, Dr. Lynn's here. Make sure to hydrate after you go on your bike ride and after your stretch session.